Okay, here I have another Panasonic Boombox RX-E300, and I believe this one had a 40 CD player in it, and it's sat around here for years, and then I found it and moved it a week or two ago and set it up high on something. I thought I'll get to that, and of course I think it was when I climbed up to get that box full of kits and bits and pieces, I bumped the thing it was sitting on and it fell off probably about 1.5 meters high onto the floor. So I'm not sure how good it is now, but the front is loose and the front of that speaker's loose. So we've definitely broken a few mounts in there. Surprised it didn't do a lot more damage. I think it put this, whatever this white stuff is on the grill, I think it's more just the paint's been knocked off. But it came out of it pretty well considering, so. But might as well have a look. I doubt the CD player again is going to be repairable, but given the luck with the cheapo Boombox, this is a bit more of a solid unit. It's actually got some decent weight in it. We've got these double speakers. They're not very big, but they've got the proper tweeter and woofer. Only a little woofer, but some of these little Boombox things now, the Bluetooth ones have little speakers like that in them and can pump out quite a bit of sound. I see something's flashing there, probably the CD. Got a standby light, so maybe this thing was remote. Oh yeah, lights up a nice green there. We're on tape. There's our input select. Band, probably if we just hit that, does that go to, yeah, it does get it on the radio, just hitting the band. And we've got a push button volume, so I'd say this is definitely remote control. Preset tuning. How do we go up and down the band though? Is it this? Oh, you're tuning CD. Actually, it should be something on, is it 87.8? There it is. Certainly got some bass in it. I'm impressed. It's actually picking up really well. In stereo without much of an antenna. And that much is still working after being, I'm not sure how it landed, upside down or on it's broken on these two top bits. But this is a pretty solid unit if you can take that. I think the AM sound like it's working. I guess we can find out.
Such discrimination, and that tradition was very strong for much of the past 150 years. The struggles against colonialism, against racism, against apartheid.
Definitely the ABC, I think. Oh, it stayed on the same FM channel. That's good. So maybe not memorise it, but at least didn't lose it. Now this is probably going to have buttons, is it, or switches to know when the tape's in there. Where's the play? I guess it's the same as, oh, that's CD play. Oh, tape. That's an auto reverser by the look of it. Okay, what do I have to press here, or do I just have to have the door shut? Oh, there's probably the switch. No. There we go. That's to the left of the little bit. But the auto stops kicking in, I think, but it looks like it's running okay. And that's rewind. Well, that's not rewind, is it? Interesting. Ooh, yeah, that door's a bit, probably a bit wonky. Is that going to close with a tape in it? What's going on here? Oh, okay, it's still stuck in play mode, I think. Oh, yeah, it is too. Okay. Is it going to reset when I turn the power back on? If I can get the power back on. Yeah, it ran for a bit, stopped, but didn't. The tape deck's not actually dropping down. So that could be something I've done. It doesn't want to drop down, so it's not trying to drop down. That's why the rewind fast forward doesn't seem to work, because it's, you know, I can't change direction, so either I've broken the tape deck or it already had an issue, probably already had an issue. And quite a bit of dust in there. This looks like it actually got the same laser as that other one. On the top it looks identical, but I doubt it would be identical, but no, they probably did make them similar. Spinning, and sounds like a PlayStation trying to load up. That's a weird noise. Oh, I thought it's got a spin motor issue. That really doesn't seem happy. Oh, that's going flat out, that's why. So it's got the sort of runaway thing where they just run away at high speed. That was just going zip, zip, zip and going faster and faster, I think. Not sure whose genius idea it was to make them so that they can do that. But I'd say that's something Philips and Sony overlooked in the design of these things. Don't think there's any muck on the lens. It is one of the weird features of CDs to do that. Ooh, I think it's actually scratched my disc too. That wasn't scratched before, I don't think. Or maybe I did that when I was tapping on it there, or probably when I open it up, maybe it's doing something. Oh, now it says no disc after I gave it a clean. Maybe the metho hasn't dried. There it goes. Yeah, they do some weird stuff when they can't get any data off the disk, or any readable data anyway. Not sure if the stop button doesn't do anything. Power button does. In case it's scratching the disk, I might just... Yeah, you can hear it. Sounds like it's scraping a bit. Oh, that could just be on the platter, but... Oh well. I guess that means I need to pull this to bits, even though I'm not going to get it done today. How do these speakers come off? They do slide upwards. Once you hit the little tab, they got 4 wires, these ones, so red and black going red and black. Oh yeah, they're all labelled. Like red and black and blue and white. There's a few of these Panasonic things came out with these dual speakers, and a few other brands as well. I think it was just a trendy thing to do for a while. Like they were bi-amped or something, I guess. Even though I'm not sure they actually came out of separate amp chips or anything. Very unlikely, I would say. But you never know, they might have actually done that. Kind of pointless on a boombox. Gonna have to pull that speaker apart and see what's busted in there. It may be repairable, at least temporarily, with glue or something. So I think we can actually get this CD lid off. No, I don't think we do have to take the front off, I think. Oh, yeah, the battery cover off and check. Yeah, there is one screw down there. Let's see if they come out easier than that other one. Yeah, straight in. That's what should happen. Other screws. Are they down there? Oh, there's another 2 down here, possibly. Yeah, you can see underneath here these weird long bits that are where the screws are, I guess. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that after sitting around here for 2 or 3 years I'll go and break the thing. But it doesn't look like I broke it too much. It's definitely a lot heavier than that other one. Oh yeah, well that's the broken one. Is that one still? I think this one's still intact, so I might have only broken one of them. No, that feels a bit like it's broken too. And eject the tape, and off comes the front. Oh, look at that dust in it. My god, yes, there's another broken mount there. That one's snapped off. That one's completely snapped off. That one's kind of still attached to the screw, but sort of, yeah, and it's broken both ends. Not a bad effort. So that board's loose now. Oh yeah, there's a remote receiver. That's got a lot of dust on it, so this whole thing's pretty dusty and dirty by the look of it. So it could be a dust issue again in the laser. One screw at the front and two at the back, I assume. More of an interesting unit, at least this one. This was a higher end sort of box, not a, probably a bit older too. Well, that's, or is that even part of the thing? It must be part of the, oh here it comes. It's just stuck in there like usual. And I think the front seems to move everything, so that's why it's at least got one screw there to the tape deck, I think, or to the chassis above it. Oh, this whole piece is kind of, problem is I've broken that mount, so I'm going to have to probably hold it with some pliers. It might, oh, I can get it off by hand. Sometimes they're that tight. There's no hope. Bits of plastic broken everywhere. Wow, that is filthy. Is it the same mech? It does actually look identical to that other one, but, or at least at a first glance without really seeing them side by side, but it is very similar. I mean, these might even be the same era. This was just a higher end model or something, who knows. Oops. But we're about to run out of battery and I've run out of time. Is it going to come out? Oh god, that's tight. Heaps of definite dust issues. That is a ton of dust. So if that doesn't have dust down in the laser, it'll be a miracle. And the board looks here, same 3 screws. What are the chances of having that one sitting here for ages and the other one I don't think it's been here that long, and then I end up doing them both at the same time, possibly with the same issue, but I won't get my hopes up on it. But it could be the same kind of issue with the CD player. This one at least is filthy inside, so that's usually a sign it will be something like that. The other one was almost perfectly clean. A little bit of dust, but nothing compared to this sort of thing, which looks much more like what a lot of them, after many years, even just in a house or something, and especially if it's been in a bedroom or something, it will get pretty dusty inside. Ah, come on. They're all both holding on, I think. Sometimes they just don't want to come off. Try desoldering it again a bit more. Or is it the other motor? Or is there something else I've missed? I think it's just that terminal there, yeah, that's all it was. Whoops, don't rip the cable. Oh no, it's a completely different looking laser though. It's got aluminium on this one, so it's a bit more of a solid, but yeah, the board is almost identical, I think. Oh, I probably should have left that connector in after the hassle it was last time, but I might have the knack of it now. So it's at the same little, yeah, 2 screws. I might just not bother. Now that I know what it's like under there, I don't think you need to take it off the frame. I think you can just take the motor out. Ah, no, is it? No, the spring is definitely to the side. I thought it was. It's got a cutout for the spring. It's just tight, this one. Seems alright. And then we just got the same old issue of trying to lift this metal bit up. But everything should slide out with the rest of it in place. What is that catching on? Oh, it's on that little bit on the end of the shaft. Oh, that, grab it there, it comes straight out. And we should be able to just lift this out now. Or close to. I probably should have wound it down a bit that way. Is it going to go? There we go. Helps if you engage the gears. This is where it probably is a bit tighter, because that bit's in the way. And yeah, basically the same thing. Still can't see where the laser sits, but it must be under that thing somewhere. And we've got a different cover on this one. Or do we? Yeah, it's a bit different. This is definitely a different laser, I think, but they've obviously kept the same general design through the years, and this has even got dust I can see on the cover by the look of it. Come on. Yeah, that cover I think got fine dust over it. Doesn't mean it'll fix anything, but let's see if this one's got the same little mirror underneath. Yeah, it does. What do we got exactly? But anyway, if I lift it from this side, it seems to be the side to clean it from. I think we'll go for a new cotton bud there. Can't trust those ones. And I guess I should have really cleaned those pliers first before I squeeze anything with them, but yeah, they did leave a bit of muck on there. Oh, here's the other side, I think. Of course, the screwdriver wants to go to the magnet. So I can use the edge of the cotton bud even better. Doesn't have any dirt on it. I think that's a tad shinier. Bit hard to tell, but I think a little bit of stuff came out, but it doesn't look like the little sort of stain that the other one had. Very hard to tell, but mirror looks rather weird in this one, I must say. Have I got the right thing? I think I have. Yeah, that's it. Although it goes down a bit deeper than I realised. That mirror is weird as is. It must be a prism, I guess. What on earth am I seeing there? It's not that well mirrored. It's got some weird patterns on it, so I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at there. But that does go down a bit deeper, so I wonder if the laser's down in there or something, but I'll just try and get that a bit further down to make sure I've got it all. Oh well, I can only try it. These are more the old ones that used to fail, I think, so we'll won't get our hopes up on this one. But yeah, if it's just got that fine layer of dust on it, can be enough to cause various issues. This one could do with a bit of grease on it too. It's pretty dry. So I think we've definitely got an older unit here. Where did I see that screwdriver? It's got a big one. Oh, it's a bit of grease just smearing on there. The other one had quite a bit still on it. And then while we've got this apart, without putting our fingers on the lens, wind it along, put a bit more where I couldn't get to, and then just wind it back again. Certainly helps with the tracking and stuff a bit if it's actually lubed up fairly well. To be fair, this one does wipe it off the gears pretty well, so there may have been some on there. And you could even put a bit on this slide bit on the other side. It's still got plenty on it by the look of it. That's in place. I think we must have unplugged that first, so it should still go on. Now that gear's moved on me. I was just thinking about putting some grease on it, so I'll put a greasy screwdriver on it to get it back in place and give it a lube. Now that bit's, has that fallen out again? Yeah, so it does just, while I feel around here, that end likes to drop out again. Yeah, we're there. And it went like, I've forgotten, that little indent must be the one that goes to the spring. Down you go, that's it. Probably could have put a little bit of lube on the motor as well, but I think it should be right. A couple of black screws back in. Well, it's a good thing when you do two in a row that are similar, because you've just learned on one and you can apply what you just learned on the next one. Hopefully do it in half the time. Now the fun part, trying to get this little fellow back in place, and of course again it pushes the connector shut as you try and get the plug in. I'm going to have to do that from the other side. I know there's caps in the way. I should find that somewhere. I've got a little mobile phone repair kit with some tweezers in it. That's what it really wants, I think, but these are close to tweezers. In you go. They really do not want to go home. That's it. Push the little thing shut, hopefully. Come on. Oh, you're going to go in. Why is that being a little, probably just old and stiff or whatever. And how did that go? Well, the motor connectors should tell you. It went like that. And does that laser wire look right? I think that's right. Only one way it can go in theory, as long as you haven't twisted it. Yeah, one of these screws is a bit different. Why is that? Oh, no, two of them are different to the other one. Oh well. A bit weird, they just got a slightly different head on them. And I've got to plug that in. Oh, one thing I'm just thinking, there's a step I've missed, and of course, always remember to solder your motors back in. It does happen occasionally, you forget, and you wonder why it doesn't spin up, or even reset the laser back to the center. So if you ever get it not resetting a laser back to the center, about the only time you'll ever see it not do it is because you have pulled it to bits already and forgot to solder the motors back in. Connector, right, seems to be pushing up a bit, but it must go under there, I guess. Yeah, it springs the whole mech up, is it? That's springing it up, must be. As long as it's not affecting. Yeah, it is, something's pushing it up. Right. So it's got to be that connector. Is that right? Feels a bit like it's being pushed up on one side. Or maybe that, does that go down it? Yeah, like that, that would be it. Nah, that's it. There's always an act to it, but yeah, you don't want that connector pushing your mech up to one side and tilting it or anything. That definitely isn't going to make it work well. If the disc is tilted enough, it'll probably scrape on the bottom of the disc tray, or whatever you call it in this case. Not really a tray, but it's more just a cover, I think. This thing, even though this needs a good clean, I'll just sit it in there for now and see if I can fire this thing up. And we still look at the tape player anyway. Where's the disc gone? Now, how do I turn it on? That was the power button. That is the power switch on the cord, because I'm in a habit of turning them off. Oh, is that just the clock? Makes it look like it's trying to do the... Hit reset to the center. Uh-oh, no disc. Well, we buggered something. I can't see it on this one, can I? Without, I can do the switches, I guess. No, it's just saying no disc now, so we're not getting a spin up. We'd had the other motor go. Now, where's the switches in this one? Oh, heading down here. Ooh, we've got no CD, no laser. So either that connector didn't go back in or something, or I've popped it with static or something. Or no, it would be the magnets of the part. It's got to be the connector, isn't it? That's no fun. Sometimes those connectors will slip out when you don't notice. Hopefully we didn't damage the connector or anything, or tear the cable. All things that can happen with these fiddly little cables and these things, but pretty unlikely. But all I can do is unplug it, and yeah, it's weird, I couldn't actually see a mirrored coating on that thing. It was rather weird looking, so, but there was like some sort of texture in the glass, so. But the fact is that either way it should, the laser should move the lens up and down to try and find focus, so the focus search, after coming back to the center, the focus search should initiate, and or laser on, then focus search. If it's not getting the focus search stage, there's something up. But the only thing can be is some sort of connection to the laser. Oh, I didn't do a naughty, did I, and plug it in the wrong way? That's another possibility. Yeah, maybe that's why I was wondering about the twist in that cable, but maybe I'll actually put it in backwards. That would be embarrassing. I don't think I've ever done that, but it's possible. Yeah, no, I did. I put it upside down. That probably just means, yeah, thankfully it couldn't connect to anything. No, I'm losing the plot today, I tell you, too late in the day. That's what I'm going to blame it on anyway. It's, well, getting past bedtime. Oh, it is past bedtime. Oh, you little... And it's getting past having patience with this thing. Okay. That's why you're meant to do it fresh after your morning coffee, not late in the day. But I don't think there's any harm going to come of that, other than wasting a bit of my time. I should have clicked to that when I saw the cable was a bit odd the way it sat in there. But it didn't even occur to me you could get it around the wrong way. But turns out you can. And until you do something silly like that, you never really contemplate it, because normally you're careful enough not to do that. Okay, well, fingers crossed that fixes it. At least I know how this little connector fits in place. You've got to ease it down that hole. Well, the camera ran out of battery again, but unfortunately it didn't fix it, and it was the end of the getting late anyway. So what have we got? It just makes that noise again. I think it ran a bit longer before it went into the high speed mode. It's spinning up and trying to go, and now it's speeding up again. So unfortunately this one does have a dead laser by the look of it. I'm not surprised, those older ones seem to like to fail. Basically doing what it originally did. It does seem to take a little longer to get to that stage, so almost like it's getting a little bit more data in there or something, but then off it goes into the high speed mode. Well, it actually wasn't fully flat out this time, but I don't think we're going to get much out of that. I guess I could try another disc or something, but since that one's a bit scratched up now, but can't see it working. I don't think there's even any adjustments in these ones to tweak anything. Guess I should double check that. And that may well be one of the problems with these Panasonics, is because you can't adjust anything to make up for aging lasers, they just fail and that's it. You're stuck with ordering a new one. No, definitely nothing there. I should have took a little bit more notice when I had the board out, but from memory there are no pots. There's not even a, I'm not sure, was there a power? Oh, there is a power adjustment on this laser. I guess that could be worth a, since I've got nothing to lose. And you can actually get to it, I think. Yeah, there's one little pot that's on the laser itself. I don't think there was anything on the board to adjust, so I guess we can, if I can find a fine enough screwdriver, it looks like it's pretty small, try tweaking up the laser power a bit, because it's rubbish anyway. That doesn't seem to turn it. Ooh, yes it does. I think I just turned it. It's so small you can barely see it, but it felt like something moved. It's worth a try, just to see if we can get any life out of this. If it was like a repair for someone, I wouldn't even bother, because you're playing with the unknown and it'll probably come back on you a week later or something. If you tweak it up, it might start working, but the laser's basically worn out at that stage probably. No, it sounds just as bad as before. Definitely not reading, but it is trying, so the laser's coming on obviously and stuff, but not getting any further. Oh well, I think we'll give up on the CD player in this and have a quick look at this tape deck while I've got it apart, even though this thing's a bit busted up and stuff. Might as well see if I can learn why, if you look at this tape deck, it's pinch roller up on this side, obviously 2 pinch rollers since it's auto reverse. Interesting looking mech, just probably made for this sort of series of Panasonics, maybe some of their Technics decks as well. So it could be like a high-end Technics hi-fi component deck that they've pinched the mech out of and used in this as well. Let's hold all this together. We've got some connectors to the tape deck and one connector here. I might even just pull that out. We'll pull this whole assembly out. I guess I could just take the tape deck off it, but since this is already all loose, do they come out? They're just, I don't think they come out at that end actually. They're soldered to the board by the look of it. So I guess what I should have done with the CD is bring the camera down. Oh, hopefully that's in focus. And yeah, can't see much from behind. There's the capstan. Yeah, we've got a solenoid. I can see a coil of wire in here. So that's what should be triggering to engage it to drop down. So in theory, without going. I might take that board off, I think, or at least get it loose. Give me a bit more room here. Where are we? There's one screw there. I think that's it. Is it clipped in? What's holding this thing in? Oh, there's a little metal piece there. Must have to slide, lift that off that little piece there and slide it maybe. That's off. Oh, there's another slidey bit there and another little pin. So you gotta lift off this white pin and slide down. Now this is where it's going to be fun. Can we, in theory this should lift up a bit. Ah, we got it. This is what's holding it, or part of it. Head wires. Yeah, now we can actually see a bit of what we're doing. Try not to, these wires will break very easily if you're moving around much, so you've got to be a bit careful not to move them around too much and start metal fatigue. I'm not sure which direction this motor's supposed to go. Left, maybe? So I think I am turning it the right way. I guess I can tell from the capstan, can't I? Yeah, that's the right way, because the pinch roller will go that way, the reel's turning, because it's best to turn it the right way. And what we'll do is we engage that solenoid and nothing happens, which I would assume the case, because it'd be rare for the solenoid to be faulty, like the drive to it. Interestingly, it doesn't do anything. So maybe when I dropped this I broke the gear in there or something, or maybe it had a fault originally. Yeah, that motor's going to be a bit of a pain. I might have to, well, I've got to take it out anyway, because the motor doesn't have a connector at all. I guess if I mark, well, we know positive is the red wire. I think I'll just unsolder that, get it out of the way. I guess I could take the deck off this thing, but I actually kind of like it on this. For some reason it's kind of handy having a bigger thing to hold it. And where do I see another screw for the motor board? Oh, there. Because we're going to have to inspect the gear here, I think, and see why it's not engaging. That goes up under this white plastic. Maybe I will have to remove the... Oh, there's another screw there. I've got a Hall effect sensor there, I can see on a little magnet. Must be the auto stop. Will this AS comes out without taking the mech off the... And we've got one more screw in the corner. I mean, the point is this will probably all lift up with the board. I probably don't even need to unsolder it. So we're going to have a belt come off here. The belt goes round that one pulley and above the one on this side, just so I know where it goes. What's holding there? Nothing really. Okay, so we're got that out of the way. Get that belt out so it doesn't get grease all over it. And that's the solenoid here. When that pulls in, it should engage a gear to... I've got a plastic bit moving all the way across here as well. Well, this is the big gear here, I would say, that lifts the heads up. And the idea is, usually there's a break in the gear somewhere. When we lift this, usually this gear will turn, which it doesn't. It should release that gear a bit to engage the capstan, which will then wind the deck. So what we can try and do, I guess, is can we move this gear like that? No, we were meant to be turning that way. Does it bite in? Nothing. And we haven't disengaged. Yeah, it's definitely got the toothless part there, so it looks like, God, you can't wind it that far, surely. Surely it should come back this, or is this completely in the wrong position, maybe? What are we lifting here? Is that the other pinch roller or something? No. Weird. Unless it's a different way to disengage, like some sort of release that's meant to happen. I'm just going to have to pull that capstan out of there. Does it have a little... No, there's no washer on it. Maybe not on that side. Anyway, we've got another belt here, of course. thing to do out. Yeah, there's a little washer under there, but look at it, so make sure that doesn't fall off. So here's the gear with the, I would think it would come the other way, or it's completely, yeah, that would normally push that to engage that way, I would think. Does it? Oh, it does turn. Doesn't want to go anywhere though. I think that's as far as we can go that way. Yeah, I would have thought it has to come the other way, but there's no way that was going. Something's happening now. And nothing's changed on the deck. We've still got one pinch roller up and heads up. Must have to go a bit further. That should do a cycle and things should drop down, I would have thought. Should be some sort of cam arrangement. Or, like I say, there's another way of releasing this deck down, so that might just be the lift function. And we've just gone through the lifting process. So this thing lifts up. That is where I would have thought it was meant to set, and then that solenoid should push. Oh, something clicked. Oh yeah, we disengaged it somehow. So when it's in the right mode, maybe that's where, yeah, if you press the solenoid's actually stayed engaged, interestingly. Oh no, it's dropped out now, so something's a bit, maybe just a bit tight there. It looks like we're ready to engage again. That should do a full rotation until about there, where it disengages. We've got the other side of the deck up now. And then we press that, and that should release it. Yeah, something's moving very slow there, so we've got a grease issue maybe. Oh yeah, look how slow this head's coming down. So this hasn't been used for years probably. Look at it, it's barely moving. Despite probably having a decent spring there somewhere. And what do we lube? Is it this piece here? What's this black thing here? Yeah, this pin here, that's literally it. That is as tight as. I bet if I spin that down, yeah, it comes down pretty instantly then, I think. Yeah, so it's not the mech itself, it's this. I'm not sure if that's designed to, I wonder if that's meant to make it go slow or something, or is it just, oh, how do I get that apart though is the next fun part, because it looks like you've got to take the whole plate off, the whole head, which I definitely do not want to be doing. Oh, here's, yeah, the grease sticking out. Oh, it's on the end, just goo. That was probably grease once upon a time, now it's more like a glue or something. Oh, well, that's your issue. Maybe that's a common thing with these mechanisms. I would think it probably is if they're used in other things and then get left for years. Possibly moving it around will make it better, but no, it's, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's a slow release so it doesn't go clunk. There is a little pinhole in there, which is what that stuff's coming out of. It doesn't lift up or anything, so what is going on here? I can't imagine it's meant to be that gooey though. Still, would it stop the whole mech from disengaging? How do we get that out? I reckon you've got to spin it round and lift it. It must slot under that plastic maybe. I can't see anything that does though. Or is it held from the other side somehow? I might have to unsolder this motor soon because I'm going to start messing up these connectors if I move them around too much, most likely. It's under this stuff here somewhere. Well, does that moves when I, yeah, that bit lifts up, but I don't think it comes away from that piece. Yeah, that's in position. And that drops it. Yeah, it's certainly catching a bit. work. That doesn't work with that. I wonder what that grease is like. Even that's a bit thick, I think. Where did I put that? Oh, it's in my hand. God damn it. But that doesn't allow us to keep going. So it must go that way then, does it? I can't actually get this thing to turn. Ah, you hit that again. So this gear definitely goes in the anti-clockwise direction. And that would rotate and keep rotating. Ugh, doesn't feel like it wants to go any further though. Oh, there it is. Something there is a bit tight too, I think. I can see this bit or whatever's moving with that bit until it runs out of gear again, runs out of teeth again. But then if that, oh yeah, that flips around. Yeah, that's all good, and it's sitting there with its tooth just disengaged until you hit that again, and then it bites into the capstan, into the gear here, which will then wind that around again, lifting the mech back into play mode. And I'm not sure exactly how it changes direction, but that's probably a slightly different part of the mech. But whether I can really do a lot with this, it may function again now that I've loosened it up a bit, but just moving this around may be enough to get it going a bit better, but it's still not the best. I'm not sure, maybe I wonder if I could put a little bit of oil or something down in the little hole there. I can get right down inside there a bit. Because I'm not sure how this thing comes loose, whether it's screwed in or something on the other side. I don't think so, but it's a bad oh yeah, that's just completely dried up. Okay, so it's not underneath that piece because I can actually clean out in between them by the look of it. And it's full of just sticky, whoops, got on the pinch roller. Sticky grease there. I'm certainly slowing things down, but it doesn't seem to be hindering them completely, so what we've got here, is this another one? Here's another goopy thing. So that's this piece here by the look of it. Does that move? Oh, there it is. So we've got a second one. That one's quite free though, but it's got the same stuff. Yeah, very sticky. That's a bit different. I think that is freeing up a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. So what did this do? That's a completely separate part. Oh, that's that bit that went up and down on the back, I think. So if both of them are really stickier than they should be, it would explain why I'd had trouble releasing and getting going again. I reckon this deck's just been sitting around for years with zero use and has seized up. Maybe just that will might be enough for now just to loosen them off to get it working again. Problem is it's only going to be sitting around for years doing nothing. I'm not sure if this one's even worth keeping. Given the condition it's in after I dropped it, it's not really a sort of boombox I'd want to keep that much anyway. At least it's a bit more upmarket version, even though it's a more modern black one. Now, how do we get this belt on is going to be the fun part while trying to jiggle the motor into place. Can I get that up? Ah, damn it. Oh, maybe I'll put on the motor first. There's a few different ways you can do it. And then get it around this wheel. Yeah, came off again though, didn't it? Sometimes you've got to grab them with pliers or something afterwards and attach them to the motor. I think this might be one of them. Surely there's a way I can get that on first. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to... yeah, might just have to sit it on the main capstans. I'd say it hasn't had much use because it's kind of holding its shape where it was sitting onto the motor. Another thing you can do is maybe hook it onto this little pin here. It's a bit low, but that'll possibly work to keep it in place until I can grab it with some pliers and carefully pull it around that pulley and lift it up, and we're on, I think, aren't we? Yep, sort of. Not sure it's perfect yet, but let's get it in place. And the best thing to do is just spin it around and make sure everything pulls itself to the center and doesn't come off. But I think that's about all I'm doing with this at the moment. Where did that other screw come from? There was one, that's a metal one, so it's not there. Was that the one? That was the big one, went through that end. And obviously goes right down the plastic into the metal. There must have been a couple of these plasticky screws. I think that was there somewhere. No. Bad guess. Oh, that might have been the circuit board, that one. No, the circuit board had a big one, I think. I've got two similar ones here. Oh, that's right, there was that bit of plastic in place, wasn't there? That's where that one went. Definitely one like that was there. Must have been one like that here. And then that weird little long one, thinner one. And what was the other metal one for? Was there another screw here? There must have been. Oh, you can see another one of those little ones there holding the circuit board on. Was there something else? Oh, get that bit in, that might enlighten me. Oh yeah, that enlightened me. That's got a screw into the metal. Now where did this go exactly? There's the screw hole, sits on the Hall effect sensor and should go down there. And this just clipped in, didn't it? Two little metal standoffs, put it in, put it there, and screw it on. That might be enough to free it up to get it to work. Got the head connector, it's got to go back. And what was that sort of propped? That capacitor held it somehow down and jammed underneath it, I think, like that. That one's folding back down, that one's folding back in. Let's see if I get any more joy out of it. If it at least lifts and stops. It may just lift back up again and then stay there. But it hopefully will drop down again. But while I've got it apart, might as well have a look and see if we can get it going. We're in tape mode. I think I had to press switches everywhere. Now, which buttons are the... oh, they're next to it, I think. Maybe not. I'm not sure if I'm pressing the right button even. That's the record one. That should be the metal and chrome select. That one should be our tape. But is that... I think it had a separate play button somewhere. Rewind, fast forward. Okay, so we're in. Interesting, it's lifted up the. That's definitely not the tape stop. Tape. Oh, stop and play here. Oh, of course, they're right in front of me. Rewind doesn't lift up and work. The deck generally has lost the plot, I think. That's meant to be fast forward, or it says fast forward on the display. That gets us into tape mode. No, it's jammed up again, I think. You can hear the sounds like the solenoid's clicking. I can't even disconnect that connector, unfortunately. Hold the switch up. But our gear doesn't seem to engage with the capstan. Capstan's spinning. So I've got an issue somewhere with that. Maybe that gear isn't turning properly. It did seem to move on its own, but maybe not enough. So it can be that that rotary gear, when the solenoid clicks, it doesn't, like, for whatever reason, something here is sticky and it doesn't move like it should. Well, now I know what the mech sort of works like. Can I see anything? When it's in the stop position, that's fallen nicely. We've got that other little bit that should rise up if the... Did something just click then? Oh yeah, something just clicked, so it might be that other... Oh yeah, now it's got into play, but it's stopping. Well, I guess the Hall effect sensor is probably killing it. Fast forward's not working though. So I think it's something to do with that other little... Yeah, well, as soon as I touch that, something clicks. So something isn't returning. And if I do it, we've probably got fast forward. Yeah. Interesting that it brings the heads up, but probably so I can do search or something. So I'd say this has got another one of those music search functions. Yeah, we're going to rewind. So it brings the heads up. Auto stop kicked in. And yeah, we're going to have to flick whatever that was. Nothing, I didn't hear it click that time. But it must have done whatever it did because we're in play. We've actually got an electronic tape counter. Oops. Because can't try and show it and the thing... Try and show it and the thing stops running. But it does have an electronic tape counter on that front display, so that's a bit more modern than the old boomboxes. So anyway, I can hold this thing together. Of course, I've broken all the mounts off. Yeah, all the mounts on the bottom are busted. The top mount here is the only thing that really even trying. This one's broken over here. I've still got the screw attached. No wonder this thing doesn't want to hold together. This is absolutely nothing. There's nothing. Put the front back on is about the only thing that sort of holds it together enough. Yeah, if I put the front back on, it sort of holds the things together a bit better, but I can't get to that little piece to click it. See if it's even in the mood for working. Now the front panel doesn't work because it slides backwards. Nah. So yeah, it's not real good with all those mounts broken in it. CD player doesn't work. Tape deck doesn't want to go. I've only got, I think, one screw there anymore that even holds the thing together. So I think this thing's basically good for display purposes only, and that's about it. I should clean all the dirt out, but I guess I might at least clean this bit out so it doesn't look so terrible. But it's probably more of a parts machine than anything, or just something to look at. But at least I tried. It'd be a good radio for someone. And that's probably about all it's good for as functional. Just really does not want to go back together. Not the greatest idea ever. does that piece go? So all I can do is put one cover screw back in on that corner, and I'd have to try and repair the mounts and stuff otherwise. I think I'll just put all those broken bits in a bag. Is that one even working? Even that one doesn't. Oh, maybe that one's broken as well on the mount. Here it is. By the look of it. So what was actually holding this together? Not much. Oh wait, is there a screw hole there I can put back in? I must have undone something here by the look of it. Ah, okay. So I did take a screw. I lied, there's one screw there that holds. It must be a short one here, and there it is. So at least there was one screw holding things together. They're broken. Yeah, that one's busted off. How did the front that one? Yeah, but that's broken off as well. So maybe that just held in the hole there. Basically, there's not a single mount left on the front. It's basically loose now. It does sort of hold itself, clip itself on a bit. Although, can I? No, I don't think any. That one's got something. Can I screw into that? Did that have something? Oops. Antenna's getting in a weird spot. Is there anything on that bottom one that it can bite into? Probably not. But anyway, that's that one done. It's not really a repair of this one. I guess I could have a look and see what I broke in this speaker, but it's pretty obvious 2 of the mounts are gone. Probably wouldn't have to have a quick look in and see what's actually inside these things, since it's already half undone. Actually, I think we might have a 3rd mount broken here. I think I've only got one good mount left, so anyway, it didn't cost me much, that one, so... And I was pretty certain the CD player would have been right off in it. Wow, look at the magnet on that. 7.5 watts. And an oddball. At least the tweeter's got it, so they've actually sealed it in its own little enclosure, as you should do if you don't have a sealed back tweeter. Because otherwise all the vibrations from the woofer pumping the air in the box will basically push on your tweeter cone and affect its performance. So that's why tweeters normally have a sealed back and mid-ranges. Yeah, that one's definitely not a sealed speaker. Some weird little 6 ohm thing with lots of dust on it. And heaps of dust in the box there, so this has come out of a pretty filthy environment. But there you go, that's what that looks like inside. And yeah, we've got one mount busted off, another mount busted there. Interesting, where'd the rest of that one go? That's broken off. Or am I? Oh, that one must be the one that goes in the corner, it's just spun round. Yeah, that went whoop, that way. Yeah, that's broken off there, yeah, that makes sense. So, interesting little box to look at, but not much I can do with this one. Dead laser, and obviously not worth trying to fix the tape deck. Since I'll never want to use it, the case is broken anyway, and it's not much use without a CD player. It's not much use even with a CD player in the modern world. And I haven't got the remote for it either. Would have been quite a nice little unit in its day, no doubt, and probably sounded pretty good. But anyway, thanks for watching.